Hi, I'm Jeanette from Rad Essentials, and this is part one of a three-part series of Introduction to Soap Making. Today's video will be going over the equipment used to specifically make cold process soap. The equipment shown in this video is what I use for my soap making, but during the video I will be going over some recommendations on how to make soap on a budget. Alright, first piece of equipment here is an immersion blender, or it can also be known as a hand blender. This is a very crucial piece of equipment to make cold process soap. I use a KitchenAid hand blender, but this is definitely a product that you can buy at Goodwill. They're generally the white hand blenders, and I would say look for yours there first before going out and buying a brand new one. People kind of buy this type of piece of kitchen appliance thinking that they're going to use it all the time, but really realistically they use it like once and then give it away. The thing actually that I like about these white hand blenders is the fact that they're a lot less powerful. Does work for itself. It does take a little longer to get your oils and fats blend with the lye, but it actually works to its benefit because it creates a lot less air bubbles in your soap. Though if you find yourself making a lot of cold process soap, then yeah, I would highly recommend getting a KitchenAid hand blender. It has a lot of power behind it, and I find it an extremely good quality piece of equipment that's not going to break down on you at any point. Okay, vinyl gloves. So one thing I really want to address is that you are working with lye, and lye is extremely corrosive. It will burn your skin upon contact. Not trying to scare you at all, but when you purchase your equipment that's going to keep you safe during this process, you don't want to skimp on it. You don't want to not wear any of this. I mean, yeah, it's going to make you look dorky for a second, but whatever, it's going to keep you safe. And like with, for example, these vinyl gloves, don't wear latex gloves that you see like your doctor use at the doctor's office. Don't use those. Try and buy something that's going to actually cover up your wrist, up your arm quite high, and wear like long sleeve shirts, that sort of thing. It's again going to keep you safe. I love these vinyl gloves. They actually fit my hands. They're quite petite, so that's fantastic. And again, yeah, these are coated in vinyl, and these gloves are specifically created to protect your hands from very harsh chemicals. Okay, these are the safety goggles that I use during soap making. These are worn the entire time that I make soap. Again, another piece of safety equipment that you don't want to skimp out on. I make sure I buy the safety goggles that will protect the periphery of my eyes. I have ventilation holes to prevent any fogging. Again, working with lye, you really want to be safe, sure that in the case of an accident, nothing splashes into your eyes at all. So for these, I would highly recommend going for these instead of the type of like almost like sunglass form of just like regular safety glasses that don't really wrap around all the way around your head. Alright, this is a 3M ventilation mask, a respiratory mask. I do wear this once I'm mixing my lye mixture. Again, another piece of safety equipment, super important to wear. Don't want to be really breathing in any of the lye fumes. Make sure that I work in an environment that I can get ventilation, but still I know that I'm working closely with lye and don't want to breathe any of those harsh chemicals. So highly recommend actually this respiratory mask. I'm unable to smell any of the lye once it's mixed and know that it's not going into my body at all. Go out, get one of these masks. The ones that you see here, these are actually pads that any fumes from chemicals are not breathed in at all. So this is just a regular kitchen scale. It weighs by ounces. You definitely will need one of these when you're measuring all of your ingredients, every single one from oil, lye, water, liquid, whatever you're using. You're gonna need one of these. This small measuring cup is used to measure out lye. I want to say that any soap making equipment that you have, you do set aside for just soap making. You don't want to mix it in with your regular everyday kitchen equipment that you use to prepare food. What I really like about these type of kind of Pyrex measuring cups is that they do have a strong, sturdy handle that I can use to grasp. So that's kind of grasping the container itself. I mean, that's kind of just a personal preference, but I do like it's kind of, you want to make sure you kind of have a non-porous piece of equipment to use. So we got another measuring cup. This one's larger. This is what I use to measure out any liquids or water that I'm gonna have my lye be mixed into. Best thing about this is that it's heat resistant. Lye, once it hits a liquid or water, gets pretty hot, so you want it to be in a heat resistant container. Again, it has like a sturdy handle, which I personally like when I'm mixing ingredients like that. Then you'll just need one more bowl. This is what I use for putting in my butters like cocoa butter, shea butter, or any of my oils like extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil. This is what I use. And when I'm making a small batch, I typically use just a small bowl, or if I'm making a larger batch, it'll just be a much bigger bowl than this. This is a digital thermometer. I got mine off of Amazon. You'll be needing this piece of equipment to measure out the temperature of your lye mixture and the oil and fats that you're going to use for your soap. Before you mix them together, they got to be at 120 degrees. It's crucial for that temperature just to make sure that the chemical reaction is able to occur between the two ingredients. I wouldn't suggest getting like a candy thermometer. I mean, you're going to have to dip it in lye and then take it out and then dip it into your oil and butter mix, and it would be messy. And just get one of these. It'll make your life a lot easier. It has a laser on it, and when you're bored, you can just kind of check the temperature of random stuff. And you'll need like an enamel pot or some type of cookware. I wouldn't suggest metal because sometimes that reacts with some of your ingredients, but this is an enamel pot that I use to warm up my oils and butters that I'm going to use. It's a fantastic piece of equipment. It hasn't worn out on me and is what I use to make my soap. So you'll also need a stainless steel mesh strainer. What it's used for is to pour your lye through. Sometimes when you mix lye and a liquid together, it doesn't completely dissolve all the lye crystals. So you don't exactly want to put undissolved lye into your soap products. So to avoid that, just use the strainer. It'll just save you some trouble in that. Okay, so this is a stainless steel spoon. It has a great long handle on it. It's used to mix the lye with liquid or water. I would suggest something like a stainless steel spoon. I wouldn't use anything like plastic or that could possibly dissolve in your lye mixture. You wouldn't want to have that happen because the lye is very corrosive and it does get to warm temperatures. Alright, so this is a silicone spatula. Another thing that I bought off of Amazon. Really great long handle, easy to grip, allows me to get every bit of soap from my bowl. Would highly recommend one of these. You want something that's going to be able to easily scrape the sides of your pot or bowl, whatever you're using for your soap. And finally, we have a soap mold. The one here pictured is just a 1 pound mold for soap. And what I like about this one specifically is that it just has a capability to easily release from the sides and the bottom so that your soap doesn't get misshapen. I'm going to make another video though going over various types of soap molds and actually how you can be quite frugal with your soap molds. You don't really have to get anything fancy for this type of thing, but if you want sort of something that's going to come out very easy and in rectangular shape, then this one would be a great choice. Okay, that concludes Introduction to Soap Making, equipment needed to make cold process soap. In my next video, I will be going over lye, everything that you need to know about lye, and the equipment you need to use to keep safe. I will be placing links to the products shown during this video, and if you have any questions or replies, please feel free to post them in the comment section. Please click subscribe to see all my soap making video updates. Alright, thank you so much for staying tuned and have a great day.